Once again, I'm back with part 2 of our theories video. I have found a few more interesting theories online, and some of you have also shared your own in the comments of the last video, so without further ado, let's get into the theories. Let's start with Lace, arguably the most talked about character in Silksong, and for a good reason. We saw the most interactions with her, so naturally this has sparked a lot of theories about her role in the story. One popular theory is that Lace is basically Silksong's version of Hornet, challenging Hornet in combat to see if she is worthy of entering Pharloom's citadel and come face to face with whatever is hiding there. Kind of like Hornet tested the Knight in Hollow Knight to see if he was strong enough to take on the infection. This theory is backed by Lace's actions and dialogue. For instance, Lace apparently frees Hornet from her captors at the beginning of the game. She later appears in the Deep Docks saying, "How sad, a little spider has fallen from its cage." That line strongly suggests that she knew about Hornet's captivity and possibly even orchestrated her escape. Maybe she used one of those little white butterflies we see her controlling to help out Hornet. However, it's also possible that other residents of Pharloom might have set Hornet free. Still, even if Lace freed Hornet, we don't know if that means she's actually on Hornet's side. My take is that Lace is an independent character who's against the rulers of Pharloom, but has her own motives for being there. It's possible that the rulers of Pharloom need Hornet for something, and Lace wants to kill Hornet to throw a wrench in their plans. There's also an interesting theory suggesting Lace might be Conductor Romino. This idea came up because of the way Lace conducts her butterflies, leading some fans to speculate that she's the conductor herself. Finally, there's a theory about Lace's butterflies, that they could be created from silk, much like how the Weaver's Song charm created spiders from soul. Or maybe they are born from white roses that we see Lace near in one of her fights. In Hollow Knight, we know a certain white flower, the delicate flower, that has strange powers, so perhaps these roses in Pharloom also have similar powers. Now, in Hollow Knight there are two characters who serve mysterious masters from a faraway land instead of the Pale King. These characters, Confessor Gigi and Steel Soul Jin, can be found in the cave right of Dirtmound, and depending on whether you're playing on normal mode or Steel Soul mode, one or the other will be present in your world. So what do they have to do with Silksong? Well, when you play Steel Soul mode, Jin appears, and she has some interesting design similarities with certain Pharloom enemies we saw in the trailers. For example, there are two enemies tied to Steel Assassin Sharp, who seem to share Jin's visual aesthetic as well. The main thing that links all of these characters for the most part is some sort of connection to the Void and ties to the different masters than the Pale King. Both Jin and Gigi also mention their masters in dialogue. Once you obtain the Void Heart, Jin describes the Knight as different and more complete like masters, while Gigi says her masters would be impressed by the Knight. This has led to the speculation that these far-off masters might be in Pharloom and have some influence on the events there. But why would these masters want to kill Hornet? It's possible because of her connection to the Pale King, but it's strange since neither Jin or Gigi were hostile towards the Knight even after they obtained the King's brand. For now, we can only hope Silksong will shed some light on who or what these masters are. Alright, this one's short but still interesting. This theory was presented to me by a viewer, Aiden Rosal 7691, that not only on my videos but on other Silksong videos left a comment about the chains we see hanging from the ceiling in areas like the Coral Forest, Greymoor, and the opening cutscene. According to Aiden, these chains might be anchors for a massive ship or maybe equipment for lifting cargo from the ship that transports silk. So far, the only quote-unquote ship we've seen is a small boat in the dock area, but this could also just be a weirdly shaped rock. While a giant ship might be a stretch, it's a cool idea to keep in mind as we explore Pharloom. In Silksong, there's an area frequently referred to as a clock tower, but according to a YouTuber Permacon, it might actually be something else entirely. In the background of this area, we can see cylindrical objects with small protrusions, similar to the drums found inside a music box. So instead of a giant clock tower, this could be a giant musical box where some sort of melody is created that actually fits in quite well, seeing as time is not of a big importance in Silksong, but melody or a song are. And if that wasn't enough, there are also pipes we see in certain scenes, like the lace fight and Trabio's room. Initially, people thought these pipes might be used to transport silk, but they could actually be organ pipes. We see in Trabio's room that these pipes travel from the top of the citadel all the way down, possibly channeling music and sound throughout Pharloom. Personally, I like the music box theory, but the organ one has some flaws. For instance, organ pipes don't usually twist and turn as much as the pipes we see, and typically organ pipes go upward rather than downward. Still, it's an interesting theory and probably one of the most plausible ones we have so far. Lifeblood is something that we barely know anything about even after Hollow Knight, and this is mostly due to the fact that in Hollow Nest, usage of lifeblood was seen as heretical. Most likely because lifeblood is a substance of another higher being, and the Pale King is not so keen on the idea of sharing his subjects. But that raises a question, why and how will lifeblood work in Silksong, seeing as we already know that there will be lifeblood here, from a short clip where we can see Hornet injecting a lifeblood syringe into herself, granting her one lifeblood mask. This implies that in Pharloom, lifeblood is more accepted, or at least more commonly used, than it was in Hollow Nest. Hopefully, Silksong will finally give us an explanation for what this strange blue substance is, and who is this little fellow we see near Lifeblood in Hollow Knight. And that would be it for the theories. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you everyone that left a comment on the previous video. It helped me to create this one, and if you saw any mistakes with the editing or something else, please do inform me in the comments. And once again, thank you for watching, and goodbye.